Okay, actually placed my first order while I was on my phone earlier, and I'd noticed that the PPI report was coming out this morning at 8:30. So I wanted to place it at 8:29 just to see. I was pretty certain it was going to be dropping, and this is what happened. It went up and immediately rejected it, went down and rejected that. And then it continued on up, and we're sitting here at a $30 loss. I still see that it's going to be dropping today, but there is quite a bit of pushback because you can see this descent is slowly happening, but it doesn't really want to drop. So I have an exit order in way down here. I do think it'll probably meet that eventually, but that's like 40 points below where I got in. So I may change that. Let's just kind of analyze it as if I didn't have an order in and see what happens. So like I said, on the 4-hour chart, we are starting to lose momentum. The MACD is starting to turn down. The 1-hour chart, we're having a little bit of an uptick here, and the MACD is showing that it's turning and possibly going up for a little bit. And on the 15-minute chart here, we can see that it is losing momentum again. It did go up, but it's not maintaining that very well. Hasn't actually turned to drop yet, according to the MACD. But if it does, I think that's the point when it will start to drop. And on the 5-minute chart here, zoom in a little bit, we can see the MACD has made that cross. Let me bring that up a little bit better here. All right, so it has crossed and it's about to do a death cross, losing momentum pretty well there. But we're kind of stuck on the orange SMA, the 20 SMA there. So, and that kind of works out to be the same kind of SMAs that are right through here too. So if it breaks through that, it will probably continue to drop. And my order, honestly, I could bring it up to there and still be really happy with that trade. So we'll move that up there. That seems a little bit more reasonable. And on this chart, so I can see that low point right there. All right, so this would be the first point, I think, that it would find a support. And that's actually not a bad trade either. So either of those, we just have to wait for it to drop. Now, the 1-minute chart here is at the moment turning up, and that is, very temporary, I believe. I don't think it's probably going to get up too far. And the reason I say that is if we look at the short-term RSI here, we have a divergence. We're losing momentum, but the price action went up. That may have just referred to just this little movement right here, this downward trend, but it also might refer to another drop. So we'll just watch that and see what happens. Okay, let's talk about what might happen in 17 minutes when the opening bell rings. So the result of the PPI was that the market went up. So usually when the market does that, when a piece of good news comes out, at opening bell, that's like doubled, that's accentuated. So will the market go up when the bell opens? Possibly. I mean, there is a chance of that. Obviously, we can't know everything, for absolute certain. However, the indicators that I'm seeing are that it's not going to go up. And one big reason that I think that might be the case is that when you look at the shorter term charts here, we can see that we have made 2 peaks. And this one is still in the works. It's not absolutely completed yet. If it does go up, I'll have to revisit this theory. But if it is done, making that little bit of a rise, this peak will be lower than this peak. And so we're losing momentum in that case, and that would be the reason that it's going to be dropping. And you can see on the 5-minute chart especially, I would say that it hit that blue line. It did push through it a little bit, but not real good. And it's acting as a resistance level up there. And so I would say that that would be one reason that it might drop big time in a few minutes when the market opens. So that's what I'm going with. Those are my reasons, and we'll see what happens. All right, and since I had placed that initial trade on my phone, I couldn't do the bracketed orders. So I just wanted to very quickly say I canceled that initial limit order and I put in a bracketed order. So now I've got a stop in place that will automatically fill and a limit order down where I had originally put it down there. And the stop order, if it goes above that last peak at all, I will get stopped out. And that'll be about $70, $75 of a loss on that first trade, which will be painful, but it's still within the realm of a daily amount that I can make. So I'm happy with that. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Okay, the opening bell just rang, and it's going up at the moment. It's fighting it pretty good. MACD on the 1-minute chart does look like it could indeed go up. 5-minute chart at the moment is super high and it's kind of going up, but fighting it as well. We're still maintaining that blue SMA as our resistance level up here. Breaks through. Not looking too good. Oh dear. Okay, well, just made a new higher high. And it's possible that it could even get up a little bit further. The 5902 level. That's a pretty decent resistance level right there too. So we'll go ahead and put an alert in there. And let's keep watching it. So at the moment I'm out, $70 loss. I either stop there, or if I see a really good opportunity to get in, then I make another trade. So we'll just have to see what happens. Okay, we just had a huge, we basically lost all of the upward movement that we have attempted right through here, and we're kind of at a support right through here. So we'll see if it breaks through that yellow SMA, and if so, then I would say we are continuing this drop for the day. Okay, I think we're actually really close to getting into a short here. Go ahead and set it up ready to go. Just want to be really careful to get in, and it's actually ready to drop. Great, that looks pretty good there. That would have taken. All right, very good. All right, let's go ahead and lower this down to that point right there. Actually, a little bit lower. And somehow it got me into two positions, and that's not possible. It's one of those weird things. All right, well, in that case, let's get out of one of those positions because that's not a fair thing. Set that stop a little bit more there. I think right there will actually cover my commissions. No, actually, it would be down here that would cover my commissions. It's about $5. It's actually looking pretty decent. I'm going to go ahead and stop this so you don't have to wade through all of it. Okay, we just had a spike up above the order that I placed. It did not take, and then it dropped back down again. So I think I would have gotten stopped out had this been real money, and that would have been really bad. Playing kind of a dangerous game right now because it was not an ideal situation to get in. But there we go. And also, that was not completely fair either because it got me into two orders, so I lost twice as much money as I normally would have. So that's not very good either. So we're going to lower that down and try to get back some of those unfair losses that I've sustained and see where we go from there. Okay, an exciting, great big drop here. It's actually gotten me into the green on this sadly placed order that automatically came. It was not any of my doing. So when this one gets filled, I will feel like I'm been justified. It looks like it's bouncing off of this blue line for the time being. So I guess, that's the way we need to play this. It's going to continue to go up until it starts this drop that I think is coming. I keep thinking that it's going to drop, and then it has this great big movement, which doesn't usually last real long. All right, well, maybe it won't drop down that far. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. It is interesting that it went up to this orange dotted line, which I have drawn in there as a pretty good resistance level. And it's not exactly the top. I mean, it's definitely gone above it in recent history, but not very far. It seems to be playing around that area right now. And so the fact that it went up to that point, and maybe we've reached a top now, I don't know. Maybe we're ready to drop. Who knows? Guess we just haven't quite seen that turn quite yet. Even on the 5-minute chart, I was surprised. It touched there, thought it was going to go through. It was a death cross, but it bounced at that gold SMA. So we're still seeing a lot of bullish momentum there. And right now it's kind of tempting to go into a reverse position here. Ride this up on this possible up leg that's coming next. Not sure that that would be a very good idea, but I'll keep watching. Okay, Actually, still looks like it's dropping, but the price action hasn't really gone anywhere. Interesting. And the 5-minute and 15-minute charts definitely look like they're going to drop here soon. All right, there we go. And it broke through. Let's see if it bounces now. You can definitely see 5-minute chart is on the RSI. It's losing momentum even though the price action is going up. And cannot see that on the 15-minute chart. You can see it on the 1-minute chart. So we are just beginning this. So the likelihood of it going up one more time is pretty high. We could try to do a long and have a tight stop. Let's go ahead and set that up there. Actually, I like right where it's at. Just leave it right there and see what happens to that. Okay, the trade is going well. It got up to a resistance level right there. And we'll see if it takes my order, which is about up above it a bit. It's definitely hesitating in that area. Let's go ahead and get out there. Would be the safer thing to do. All right, there we go. Very good. All right, so I whittled my losses down to 57 and 4 trades. That would be another 20 bucks. So about $70 or so, $75 in commissions and losses. So that's a decent amount for the day. And unfortunately, I could keep trading. I could get into a short because I really think we're in for a big drop here. But I need to go. So another lost day on the books, and kind of interesting. I went back through and looked at my previous history, and on my worst months, I seem to be at a 60% success rate. 60% of my trading days have been profitable. And on my better months, it's more like 80% are profitable. So, you know, right in that range, they're 70%. So if you think about that, not every day can be a profitable trading day. So if you actually embrace these days that are lost days, knowing that you have to have a certain amount of them, it kind of changes your perspective and helps you to be okay with a little bit of a loss, which I've always struggled with in the past. So anyway, this has been kind of a new shift in my attitude towards trading lately, and I think it's been a very helpful one. So anyway, signing off for today, and thanks for joining me.